In a quiet corners of rural Indiana, a sprawling coal mine carves up the landscape. It's a place of work, a landmark woven into the fabric of the community. But in the October of 2024, the Bear Run mine became something else entirely. It became a tomb. It all started when a mother and her teenage son vanished without a trace, sparking a desperate, days-long search that gripped the entire community. Friends, family, and law enforcement united in a frantic race against time, all clinging to the hope of a safe return. No one could have predicted the horrifying discovery that awaited them deep within the grounds of that mine. And even more disturbing, no one could have imagined that the person responsible was there all along, hiding in plain sight. October 15th of 2024 started like any other Tuesday. But at Samantha Jarrell's workplace, her co-workers started to worry. Samantha, who was always dependable, hadn't shown up for her shift. It was completely out of character. A concerned co-worker called the police to request a welfare check, a simple act that would unravel a nightmare. The co-worker even mentioned that Samantha, 36, might be with her ex-husband, 35-year-old Joshua Pinnock, a name that would soon become central to the entire investigation. When police arrived at Samantha's home, no one answered. Her car was gone. Her 14-year-old son, Colton, hadn't made it to school. It was as if the mother and son had simply evaporated. Calls to Samantha's phone went straight to voicemail, a sign it had been turned off. For her family and friends, worry quickly spiraled into panic. This wasn't like them. Samantha was a devoted mother, and Colton was a typical teenager, always in touch. The silence was chilling. As police began digging, they quickly uncovered a dark history. Court records flagged past domestic violence between Samantha and Joshua Pinnock. For those who knew them, this wasn't a secret. Friends were aware of escalating tensions. Suddenly, the welfare took on a new urgency. Investigators knew they weren't just looking for two missing people. They were potentially racing against a man with a documented history of violence. Pinnock was officially named a person of interest. The search for Samantha and Colton was no longer just a missing person case. It had become a high-stakes criminal investigation. When Pinnock on their radar, the search for Samantha and Colton intensified. Police started piecing together a digital trail, reviewing security cameras footage that showed Samantha's vehicle on the road heading towards the town of Duggar. It was a crucial first lead, but the trail soon went cold. An attempt to locate Pinnock using cell phone pings led investigators to an empty location, a frustrating dead end. While police chased down technological leads, the community mobilized. Missing person flyers with smiling photos of Samantha and Colton appeared in storefronts and telephone poles. Social media was flooded with pleas for information. Friends and neighbors organized their own search parties, combing through wood areas and back roads, their hearts heavy with a growing sense of dread. The uncertainty was a palpable weight on the small Indiana community, where a tragedy for one feels like a tragedy for all. As the hours turned into days, the investigators took a bizarre and chilling turn. While police in Indiana were struggling to find him, Joshua Pinnock made a phone call from Georgia, hundreds of miles away. He called his father, and his words were cryptic and alarming. He told him, "SHIT went south, and I can't talk about it on the phone." It was a statement that confirmed his father's fear that Pinnock was losing his SHIT and had been deeply depressed. Pinnock's terrified father agreed to cooperate with law enforcement. But before he could meet his son, Pinnock left a handwritten letter for his family. It was a rambling, remorseful note that read in part, "Daddy, sorry. I don't know what is wrong with me, and you all deserve better. Let's go. It's okay now. Breathe, live, love, laugh, prosper, be at peace. Num Josh." The note was part confession and part goodbye, but it still didn't answer the most important question. Where was Samantha and Colton? The answer would come from the killer himself during a phone call with his father, who was driving to meet him. Joshua Pinnock finally cracked. He allegedly admitted the unthinkable. "I think I killed them." He then told his father where he had left Samantha and Colton. It was a place no one would have ever thought to look: the Bear Run mine in neighboring Sullivan County. With this devastating information, The focus of the search shifted dramatically. On October 17th of 2024, investigators descended on the sprawling, dusty grounds of the coal mine, accompanied by cadaver dogs trained to detect human remains. The search party began their grim task. It didn't take long. The dogs led officers to a remote, disturbed patch of earth. The investigators uncovered a shallow grave. Inside, they made the discovery that everyone had feared. The bodies of Samantha, Gerald, and her 14-year-old son, Colton, were found buried together. The hopeful search that had captivated the community had come to a brutal, tragic end. The news ripped through the county, turning shock and worry into profound grief and anger. A mother and son were gone, their lives stolen, and their bodies discarded in the cold ground of a coal mine. Shortly after giving up the location, Pinnock fled from his father, but Indiana State Police, now armed with a confession and a crime scene, quickly apprehended him. When Joshua Pinnock in custody, the full, horrifying story began to emerge during an interview with the detectives on October 18th. He confessed when asked about what happened. He reportedly stated, "I just put my hands around her neck and didn't let go." He admitted to strangling both his ex-wife and his own son, and then buried them together in the shallow grave he had dug at the mine. Investigators worked to corroborate his confession, and the digital evidence that had been collected now fell into place. The Life 360 app, security footage, and cell phone records created a damning timeline of his movements. The data painted a picture of a calculated and deliberate crime. As the case against him solidified, Pinnock's deception continued. While being escorted to jail, he reportedly became violent, kicking and grabbing at officers in a last desperate act of defiance. This led to additional charges including battery against a public safety official and resisting law enforcement. The investigation also uncovered other disturbing details. At the time of the murders, Pinnock was already facing 6 counts of sexual misconduct with a minor involving a 15-year-old girl, and a warrant was out for his arrest. Testimonies later suggested that Pinnock had allegedly contacted the teenager via Snapchat, despite a protective order, and asked her to run away with him. This raised the terrifying possibility that the murders of Samantha and Colton may have been in part of a twisted plan to escape his mounting legal troubles. The killer in plain sight wasn't grieving ex-husband. He was a predator trying to cover his tracks. The community mourned together, holding a funeral service for Samantha and Colton on October 25, 2024. Friends and family gathered to remember a loving mother and her bright son. Their lives cut short by an act of brutal betrayal. Joshua Pinnock was charged with 2 counts of murder, along with multiple other offenses including obstruction of justice and resisting law enforcement, in his initial court appearance on October 22nd. A plea of not guilty was entered on his behalf. Prosecutors announced their intent to seek a sentence of life without the possibility of parole. The case is now moving through the legal system, with a trial scheduled for April of 2025. This case left deep scars on Greene County. It was a brutal reminder of the darkest aspects of domestic violence and how it can escalate into the ultimate tragedy. The use of modern technology was instrumental in tracking Pinnock, but it was his own chilling confession to his father that ultimately led investigators to that shallow grave at the Bear Run mine. The story of Samantha and Colton Gerald is one of heartbreaking loss. It's a story of a mother and her son whose lives were extinguished by someone they should have been able to trust. The image of their final resting place, a hand-dug grave in a vast coal mine, is a symbol of the cold and calculated nature of their deaths. Joshua Pinnock, the killer who hid among the concerned, was unmasked by a combination of modern police work, a father's pained conscience, and his own chilling words. While the legal process moves forward, nothing can undo the loss of 2 vibrant lives. The community will remember Samantha and Colton, not for the horrific way they died, but for the life and love they shared, a life that was senselessly put out far too soon. If you found this story informative, please consider subscribing and sharing this video. Spreading awareness about the signs of domestic violence and the resources available can make a difference. If you have a story you think needs to be told, please let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching.
You're asking me if I killed my wife with myself.
What I'm wanting to talk to you about, I know there's some talk about your truck, that is not what I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about Samantha and Colton. I understand basically a lot of people have some questions about where they're at. What do you know about where Samantha and Colton are?
I know that she's with somebody named Matt, Mike, Goodwin.
Okay. How do you know that?
She told me that's what she's seen
And when was this?
Sunday.
So you knew at what time?
Sometime in the morning.
Okay. When did she leave?
I left.
You left?
We've been trying to make a relationship. I don't know why she's doing this to me. Like, I'm not stalking her, I'm not bothering her. Why am I in trouble?
Now, so you say Sunday you left. What did you leave in? Do you have a vehicle?
Yeah.
I know Bruce was looking for that white truck. Is that what you're driving, or
I'm driving a Yukon. The guy that has my truck, I'm using his SUV because I knew that they were looking for my truck and I didn't want to give it back because I was trying to fight to get it, to keep it. And then the sheriff's department showed up Friday or Saturday looking for me. And Bruce, he told me, like, you know, I have to return it or I'm going to go to jail.
so you leave Sunday in the Yukon? Were they still there at the house then?
Yes.
Okay.
Trinity had just came by to get money off of Sam. Sam didn't have any, and Trinity got pissed off and left with Jay,
Who's Jay?
one of Trinity's friends.
Okay.
All of this can be verified. The next door neighbors, like, I don't know, some security guru, whatever, they've got cameras everywhere.
Okay. So was that the last time you spoke with Samantha? Okay.
I messaged her a couple days ago, Monday, because she had told me about Bruce had told me that Sam had told her that they were worried about my mental health. And then when I got my phone back from her, I turned it on and had a whole bunch of people messaging me, telling me that I was being looked for.
Okay. When did she give you your phone back?
Sunday.
Sunday?
Saturday. It was a Saturday. I think it might have been Saturday.
Bruce was out at your house Saturday.
It was Saturday. It was Saturday evening.
Okay. And you say she left with some Matt or Michael Goodwin?
Good.
Understand, my main concern here is trying to locate Samantha and Colton. That's really my concern. Sitting here talking to you, the little I have you seen anybody about mental health?
I've actually been to several different hospitals trying to figure out ways of like how I could have admitted myself to doing something. even to the point of I was literally telling them I was going to kill myself. I even won that attorney last weekend because of these thoughts. This case is ruining my life.
Cases, especially of that nature, can get very, yeah, it's really hard in life. But, like I said, I don't know the case. Everybody's easy to prove guilty kind of thing. There's still a lot to fight for there. Is Cole your biological son?
Yeah. You have first one.
Do you have any other children? I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what happens in there, there's always light at the end of the tunnel somewhere. It may be a long road down the way, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Try.
What's me and Josh is everybody's
If
hurt.
you're asking me if I killed my wife and my son, I didn't.
So why would your dad say differently?
Because they think I did. Because they're missing.
Did you tell him some stuff, some details and things about what had happened?
Yeah.
And what did you tell him? What were those details?
I told him that because of the training badge. And I told him that it was going on in the process of the sheriff's department beating out the damn door. They were there in the process of it.
Who was there at this time? Who was there at the house?
Sam. Colton was Hancock's. Lived on the road.
And while the officers are knocking on the door, do you guys ever answer the door?
Sam tells me not to.
Okay.
She said they're there for me.
And did the officers go away?
And they came back, I don't know, 2 hours later. Sam already went back to lunch.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. You said Sam Larry went where?
Went back to work.
Went back to work.
I was in the back by the shed getting stuff out to take to the Titan house. Working on setting up the front room in there. And that's when the sheriff showed up again.
Okay.
He told me about my truck. They were freaked out about it. He said he'd be back. He brought back paperwork. The same book everything I had. Just in a different building. I signed, listen to me read it off. did exactly what I said I was going to do. As soon as I have my phone, I will message James, and I messaged you. He did respond. 500 messages from everybody else, though.
So, what happened after that?
Me and Sam were talking. I told her I just wanted to spend more night with him. I just wanted, because I'm getting ready to go to jail. I know she doesn't want to be with me. I know she doesn't want to be with me. She just hasn't told me yet because she's worried about me. And I've already threatened her myself with arrest already. I understand. I don't really have anything to offer anymore. I can't get a job to try.
But your dad says you talk about a physical altercation between you and Samantha's ex, and you and Samantha.
No, I've never had a physical altercation with Sam. I've never, ever. I would never, ever have.
Is there a reason why you told your dad this, though?
I never told him that I hit her.
Did you tell him about a physical altercation and not necessarily hit it?
No. There was no physical altercation between me and her. There's never been a physical altercation between me and her. Is that what she's saying? She's saying that I hit her?
No, I'm not saying. We're talking about what you and your dad talked about.
I never hit her.
Josh, if what you told your dad wasn't necessarily the truth, that's what I need to know. Obviously, your dad would have no reason to lie to us. But he obviously says some things that you told him.
I told him that I was going to chop James up and feed him to the pigs.
Okay.
It's not exactly a physical altercation, it's just what I would have liked to have done at the point in time.
Did you mention something about maybe choking Samantha? Maybe more in a rhetorical sense that it sounds like she's...
Oh, I would absolutely love to choke her. I think everybody needs smacked in the head occasionally.
I disagree with you. Every now and then you need to sense people every now and then. But obviously, what you told your dad was a little bit more than that.
No.
Was that being more in the rhetorical sense, or was that being more in the literal sense?
Would I like to choke her?
I don't know exactly. I just know what your dad says. And I'm trying to get your side of it.
I mean, I don't want to hurt her. I'd like her to understand that, this has really affected me. That's all I want. I just want her to understand that, this is really hard. This isn't what I want. This is not what I want to deal with. Who the wants to deal with this every day? How is it that I'm being cursed for my entire life?
Josh, I've been doing this for, what was it, 2024 or so. I've been doing this for like 8 years as a detective. I've been here a total of 16. People don't go missing since Sunday morning. So where are we at? 4 days now? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're into Thursday now. People don't go missing for 4 days, not on the surface. So they reach out to somebody, they talk to somebody, something. Both Samantha and Colton's phones aren't on, they're off. Snapchat's not active. There's no activity from it. The car's found abandoned, parked in some woods up from the house. Something bad has happened. What? We don't know yet. We'll get to the bottom of it eventually. But at this moment, we don't know. All we know is, most likely, they are out there, they're cold. Animals can be stringing bodies apart. We don't want that. We need to bring them home, give them a proper burial, and be done with this.
They're not dead.
Josh,
They're not dead.
I don't know that for sure.
They're
but
not dead.
Everything says they are.
They're not dead.
Then where are they?
I don't know, but they're not dead.
Everything points to.
I don't care what anything points to. They're not dead.
Cell phones haven't been on since Sunday morning. The vehicle was seen going out toward Duggar, out past Duggar. That was the last thing. Now the vehicle's back in lines there. They're nowhere around it. It's parked out in the woods. Where would she have gone? There's no boyfriend that they went to French Lick with. There's none of
She
that.
has a boyfriend. Her boyfriend's name is Matt. And it's Goodwin. Or his last name is Goodwin. I think his last name's Matt. Or his first name's Matt, but it might be Mark. They're not dead.
I hope for your sake they're not. I do.
Well, that's
I hope
fine.
for their sake they're not, obviously. But everything you told your dad.
I didn't tell my dad anything. I'm done. I'm done talking about this.
I'm Detective David Elmore, Green County Sheriff's Office. Put your hands on the wall for me. Got anything on you that's going to poke me, hurt me, or anything?
No.
Okay. We'll just make sure. I know you've been here for a minute, so I doubt it, but. Alright. Go ahead and keep your hands on the wall. Give me this hand. Take this off. Give me another one. Thank you, sir. Alright, Joshua, you're going to be booked in today for 2 counts of murder and obstruction of justice, okay?
Huh?
That's what we're going to the jail for.
For what?
You started 2 cases of murder.
Of who?
Sam and Colton.
What do you mean? No! No!
Hey,
No! No! They're not dead! They're not dead!
Listen to me.
Get off of me.
You're going to be no charge.
I don't fucking care. Get off of me.
Go ahead. Alright, Joshua, you're going to be booked in today for 2 counts of murder and obstruction of justice, okay?
Huh?
That's what we're going to the jail for.
For what?
you started 2 cases of murder.
Of who?
Sam and Colton.
What do you mean? No! No!
Hey,
No! No! They're not dead! They're not dead!
Listen to me.
Get off of me.
You're going to get no charge.
I don't care. Get off of me.
Go ahead.
wife. You don't have to squeeze my head to the ground.
Done hitting it.
I'm trying.
Yeah, we don't want you to hit your head anymore. Quit kicking it. Alright, they got a chair in the room. Go ahead and take that other shoe off too. If you can. Go ahead and plug in some next inwards. Or you got it, never mind. You're good. You're good.
It's fine.
Just go ahead and stand up on those. Go. You're alright.
Can I just my right arm, please?
You're gonna just
No.
use this as a reason to start hitting?
No. Is she really dead?
Can I roll you off your stomach onto your butt? Josh? I'm gonna roll you over, man, okay? Go ahead, sit up. Just stay right there. You're fine right there. Let me put you in this chair.
You alright?